Jesse from Big Brother, and we are catching up with Mr. Pegtacular himself.
That's right. The man, the myth, the legend.
The man, the myth, the legend, about what he's been up to since he's been out of the Big Brother house. I hear you've been wrestling.
Yes, actually, like, at the conclusion of Big Brother 10, I'm like, it's one of those things where it's, when I came from Iowa, I went to California to become a sponsored athlete, and that's what I did. But if you don't give yourself an alternative or contingency plan, you push that much harder to make sure you succeed, you know what I mean? So after I got done with Big Brother 10, I literally flew out with 2 bags packed, and I started up the FCW class that's actually like the developmental for the WWE. So I took that beginner's class, and I took that class at the end of that duration, or the end of that class is when Big Brother called me about 2 weeks after that, and then we came back for Big Brother 11. And that's when that all spinned off. So when I went into Big Brother 11, that's when I was still like trying to do all the like wrestling stuff. So anybody that knew me, like when they saw like what I was doing on the show and stuff, plus all the producers like had a gist of what I was trying to do and accomplish at that time. So they're like, they encouraged it, and it was definitely fun. So I was just trying to play the role and make sure everybody knew what I was trying to accomplish outside of it, you know. So set yourself up for success again, and jump into it full-fledged and make sure that I don't have another plan. I don't have any other alternative. Just succeed in what I actually see and like set out to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you're working very closely with Mr. Johnny Fairplay as well.
Right?
Huh?
I don't know where he is right now. But,
how's that working out?
It's so much fun because in the wrestling you need to have villains and good guys. So
heels and baby faces.
Exactly. That's exactly what it's called.
I was a wrestling fan back in the day, so I watched WCW religiously right before it got bought by Vince McMahon.
So then you know, like when like the bad guy goes out there, if he's still good looking though, girls are just like they still cheer for him. You know what I mean? Like Randy Orton. So like when he walks out there, girls are like, oh, but then guys know to like boo him because he's a heel.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
It's so much fun, and the rush and adrenaline rush and like just entertainment. You have like, you know, however long the match is to be able to tell a story, and it's just so much fun. You just haven't, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's 50 people or 15,000 people as far as I'm concerned. Like, plus you can't see 15,000 people, but you're going to be able to see, you know, the couple hundred that are around the ring, that type of thing. So it's just as intense, it's just as, you know, nerve-wracking, and, you know, everything, just the ball of energy that you have when you go out there and you just perform. It's just so much fun. It's so much fun. I definitely.
Are there any kind of classic wrestling legends that you are influenced by today, or have kind of given you any interesting advice along the way?
I guess I haven't really talked to like any huge big names except for Ric Flair. I went to Gold's Gym Venice, and I was like, hey, Rick was standing there, like we were both leaving the gym. And I'm like, hey, I'd really like to get into it. You know, I've done this. Like, I'm the youngest natural professional bodybuilder in the country. I have a fan base, so I was going to try using that to make up for, you know, what I might lack. You know, whether it's anything, you know, any other attributes that they might look for. Hopefully, I can compensate it with, you know, my physique and my personality, you know, charismatic personality, you know, fan base and all that, and then go into it. That's when he was the one that actually told me to go to FCW, because they were the only people, or that's the only organization that actually looked for talent at that school. So I'm like, okay, that's what you got to do. So again, like I said, I packed up 2 suitcases and flew out there, and I shipped my motorcycle out there. I haven't even had my car yet. My birthday's coming up next Friday, and I'm going to ship my own car out to myself for my birthday.
Happy birthday!
I know. Yes,
Get
finally.
my car.
So, yeah, a new car. Well, your car that you haven't had for a year, but you know.
It'll feel new. It's new to you again.
Seriously, take it and get it checked out. But no, Ric Flair. He was the one that actually told me to do that.
Yeah, what a legend. That's great advice,
now
too.
Now he's over there at TNA, so it's over, you know, just over in Orlando. It's only like an hour away from Tampa, where I live right now. But other people that I honestly like look up to is like The Miz, being able to go from. But there's also a lot of other guys that came from reality TV, like Tough Enough, you know, like Matt Morgan, John Morrison, obviously The Miz. You know, those guys, like, it's still, granted, it's like a controlled wrestling environment, and it's a little bit different, but then, you know, they still come, we're all cut from the same cloth. These guys bring us back for a reason, because we do have personality, because we do, you know, are confrontational. People, you know, we have to appeal to the masses if you're going to be put on TV, you know. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing. That's, you know, they're sports entertainers because you have to go on, you know, go on the fly and work with it.
Do a lot of fans still stop you from Big Brother? Like, it must happen all the time, right?
Yeah. And I think
is it ever awkward, or?
It's just, it gets weird because, like, I try to, like, plant a few seeds of like a conversation to like transition it into something else other than Big Brother as they approach me. I'm like, oh, hey, so what do you do around here? And they're like, oh, I do this. Oh, so da-da-da-da. But, like, after I answer that, like, they know me a lot better than I know them.
Right.
So if I try, like, feeding off of, like, me trying to get to know them, we can carry the conversation a little bit longer. Because after, like, the Big Brother stuff, like, they're like, all right, well, see you later. You know, it's just like, all right, well, I'm trying to help us out here. I understand, but...
And on that note.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, sweet. I like Jeff and Jordan, so I just wanted to see if you wanted to get a picture. But anyways, all right, see you later. And it's like, I figured so, but, you know, I'm Jesse, the guy you didn't like. But it's so much fun, though. When we went to actually, like, Disney World and Walt Disneyland, like, little kids, it's just so funny to, like, see, like, little kids like, oh, man, do this, do this. Like, a mom and dad, like, take pictures, like, oh, man, he loves you so much. Like, can you get into wrestling? And I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's so much fun. He's like, well, we'll watch for you and stuff like that. So it's cool to see, like, people can still see it was entertainment, and I was just trying to be a goofball.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to worry about, oh, hey, I wonder how they edited me. All I do is sit there and kiss my arms and be like, oh, man, look at this. Oh, yeah. You know, I'm standing up on top of the jury house in pink span. I've never worn pink in my entire life, ever. And then I wear those things again, and I just stand up on top of the pool. I mean, this is my Facebook picture for the longest time. It's not that right now. It's like a WFX wrestling picture, but it's just, you know, it's definitely fun. But there's also, I mean, I've been on MTV as well, and like I've had some people be like, "Oh man, I remember you on MTV." I'm like, "Wow, that's way back. That's like 2006, 2005. That's way back there." It's like that's crazy. But I mean, in fitness magazines and stuff like that, there's still people like in the gym, like in that setting, or you know, there's like, "Oh man, I saw you in Muscle and Fitness and stuff like that." I'm like, "Yeah, it's been a while, but I've been in." That was like a couple years ago, but.
Do you have any fitness modeling gigs coming up now, or are you just focusing more on the wrestling?
I'm trying, just trying to put all my eggs into all my efforts. Yep, and try go wholeheartedly into that, and we'll see how everything goes. But actually, they're actually putting me on the cover of the magazine that they have.
Oh, really?
For One World United out there. It's actually the magazine out in Winnipeg that they have. So it's just one of those like brochure type things where they have like advertisements in it as well. And then,
so last question, and I have to ask. Would you ever consider doing reality television again?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of pluses, and then there's not that many negatives. You know, risk versus reward. Right. That's all is really what it comes out to. But right now, I'm trying to make sure that I can set myself up for success in the things that I'm trying to go towards. So, like, if anything else ever pops up or happens, that's I think why I've had a lot of success is because I can seize that kind of opportunity. Like as soon as I found out, like Florida is where I was. Like I'm from Iowa. You know, I moved to California for a reason to like. You know, for the business, you know, to try getting into the industry, trying to like do the things that I need to, and you have to be in the right places to be able to do that. You know, if there's opportunities that sprout up and you never open up any of the doors and they're all in front of you, you're never gonna know, and you're just gonna keep walking down that hallway. You know, you never know. But
sometimes you gotta go to Winnipeg.
Yeah, I know. Right? As long as they fly me up there and take care of everything, I'm happy.
Well, thank you so much for taking time with us.
Not a problem.
And stay safe. Don't get yourself too hurt.
All right. Here you go. And that's
how you do it.
take it all in.